Hey, what's up, my cochinos and cochinas? I'd like to welcome you back to another fucking video. A mukbang, gang bang, finger bang, do your thing. Today, we're going to eat the fuck out of some pizza, some chips, and an energy drink, you know. I just went to 7-Eleven, and I got the, sorry, I was looking at some bugs on my window. I wasn't sure if they were inside the car or outside the car. I had to verify if they were. So they're outside. So anyways, yeah, so I went to 7-Eleven and I got some essentials for my diet, which is a couple pieces of fucking pizza and a bag of fucking tapatio Doritos. So I do got the tapatio on deck. And as you can see, I got a couple slices of their fucking famous pizza. And then I already cracked it open. I was sipping it before I started the video. Pure Zero Rockstar to get the day going. And before you click off the video because you're bored as fuck, I'm gonna talk about the time that I well, pretty much I have mob ties, right? I have mob ties, and I had to put in some work for the mob because I was dating a girl who had family members in the mob, and they needed my help. We'll get into that. So let's just go ahead and get intimately involved with this delicious, cheap-ass pizza. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Hope you're doing okay. I hope you're maintaining your mental health. I went on, shout out to Jaime Eats. I went on this video not that long ago because he's been struggling making content. You know, from what I know, he's just not pleased with the way his YouTube career has went. And that could be kind of discouraging, you know what I mean? I feel it. I feel that way from time to time. Shit, I've been doing this for years. A lot of people know about the homie. I'm still barely at, you know, under 6,000, so I get it. I left a comment on this video saying, hey, bro, it's all good. Take care of your mental health, homie, and come back when you feel better, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't know this, especially if you're a vato, you know what I mean? You're a homie, whatever. You're a man, and you feel like, no, you know, I don't got emotions, you know, I don't have to worry about my mental health. Everything's always all together. You know, you got to put this image of, you know, not only being tough physically, but, you know, I'm tough mentally. You know, I'm holding it down. Can't nothing fucking make me budge. But then you stuff that shit down, you know what I mean? You take all your emotions and all the shit you're going through that you should be dealing with. It doesn't mean that you got to sit there and cry and fucking, you know what I mean, eat bonbons. I don't know if people know what bonbons are nowadays. They're these like little chocolate things. I've never tried them. But it doesn't mean that you have to do that. You know what I mean? But you can address that, hey, I'm going through some shit. My mind's not in the right place. You know, a lot of us struggle with mental health issues. You know what I mean? I deal with that shit myself. I have it on both sides of my family, to be honest. So, anyways, this ain't a mental health video. We could talk about that another time if you want. If you want me to get into that, let me know. But yeah, I let the homie know, you know, take care of your shit. And somebody commented, mental health, what the fuck is that? Like, you know, I know you're trying to be funny. Maybe you think because I'm a comedian that you can say something that you think's funny, but I wasn't sure if they were actually trying to make a joke or if they were serious. Like, oh, why are you telling this fool to take care of his mental health? Come on, bro. Grow the fuck up, homie. You know what I mean? We got to take care of our mental health, man. That's why there's so much crooked shit in this world. That's why there's fucking, you know what I mean? Like, that's why there's certain crimes, you know what I mean? And that's why people hurt innocent people because they're not fucking working on their mental health, you know what I mean? That's why people hurt themselves because they're not working on their mental health, so. Excuse me. Anyway, the cool thing about mental health is it's not like some kind of magic thing. And I know I keep talking about this, you know, I'm not going to get too much into it. I'm just going to say one more thing. And that thing is that mental health, if you work on that shit, it's all about perspective. It just changes your perspective on how you see things in life, you know what I mean? It doesn't change anything. It's not like, oh shit, you wake up and there's $1 million in your bank account. No, it shifts your perspective, you know what I mean? So anyways, enough of that. I don't know where that came from. That came from left field, but maybe sometimes God leads you to say certain things. I don't know. So anyway, shout out to Jaime Eats. Come back, homie. You got a fan base that misses you. Yeah, focus on those ones who do love you, not the ones who you haven't got yet. You know, YouTubers are always chasing what we don't have. And we got to be content with what we do have, you know what I mean? So, anyway, back in 2004, so 16 years ago, I was around like what? God damn. I was only like 21 or 22, right? I was 21 or 22, and I met this one girl through my church. She was hella cool. She thought I was funny and shit. We just started talking. And she was part Italian, from Sicily. And on her mom's side was Italian. On her dad's side, just, straight up white, whatever. But she really identified with her Italian side. So anyways, we started dating. She was younger than me. She was only 18. Anyway, she's pretty mature for her age. This pizza's pretty good today. It's on hit. I'm not sure if I'll get intimately involved with the chips. I think I might save those for later. So anyway, she took me to meet her family. There's a couple different things that I needed to do. One was I needed to meet her family. And two, I needed to take her on a date, but to her uncle's restaurant, because he owned a restaurant in Monterey. So I met her family at a family gathering. They just got together. They like to just get together and eat, like a lot of families do, but that was their sole purpose. Like, hey, we're going to be making spaghetti, so come through. Now, spaghetti to them wasn't what we think. Mexicano, spaghetti, fucking noodles, sauce, ground beef, onions, bell peppers and shit, all mixed together, all soaking it up and shit. Tastes better the second day, right? So, that wasn't spaghetti to them, though. Spaghetti to them was actually technically linguine. Linguine, I got a big weenie. Yeah, I know. Anyway, linguine was the technical term, and they used clams. Yes, clams. So you can technically call it clam linguine. My girlfriend used to call it spaghetti. I think it's because she knew I was dumb as fuck and not Italian, and I didn't know what the fuck that was. So, they all got together to eat clam linguine, and I got to meet all of them. I met a couple of her uncles, her aunts, her cousins. Now, I'm not sure if all Italian people are like this. I doubt it. Can't really put everybody in a box, but her family was cool, but not too cool. You know what I mean? Like, they were cordial, but they weren't like really on your nuts cordial. You know what I mean? They weren't like, tell me all about you and like hella fake nice and shit. It was just like, oh hey, and then go about their way. Her grandpa though, the OG, that fool was cool. I liked him. Now here's the interesting part, because you're probably bored as fuck. Like, okay, cool. So I'm just chilling at work, right? Back then, I'm not snitching nothing, but I needed a job. I was working as a loss prevention agent. You know what I mean? Like a toy cop and shit for a clothing store. And I got a phone call on my cell phone during one of my shifts while I was at work. I didn't know the number, but I answered it. I'm like, what's up? He was like, hey, this is, I don't know if I should change her name. We'll say Jenna, right? This is Jenna's grandpa. I was like, hey, what's up? What's up, senor? How you doing? He's like, not too bad. I just had to ask you a couple things. I'm like, sure, go ahead, shoot. He's like, 1, are you free tonight? I'm like, yes. He's like, all right, 2, are you free tonight? I'm like, you just asked me if I was free tonight. Like, I don't know why you asked the same thing twice. He's like, no, are you free tonight? So I didn't know what he was getting at. I was just like, it's not just am I free tonight. It's like, am I really free tonight? Like, am I willing to spend a good portion of my motherfucking night with them? So I was just like, yeah, man, I'm open. What's up? So he was like, all right, well, I'm going to need you to meet me in Stockton. You know what I mean? Because that's where I live. I've been living there forever. I need you to meet me at this place at this time. It ended up being an old spaghetti factory off of March Lane in Stockton. It's not any longer here. That's where he wanted me to meet him at. So anyways, we get there, and he's like, cool. He's like, all right, look, I need you to take a trip to Monterey tonight. He's like, and I need you to make it back before midnight. He's like, I can't explain to you how extremely important this is, but you need to be back before 12 for everything to just, you know, line up perfectly in the timeline. And I didn't know what he's talking about, but, you know, I come from the hood, and I just learned you don't need to ask questions, you kind of just do. At that point, I was just like, fuck it. I felt like I had something to prove, you know what I mean? I'm just a little snot-nosed fucking Mexican from Stockton, you know what I mean? I never put in like any fucking crazy work like that, you know what I mean? So I was just like, fuck it, I got something to prove. You know, I want to show that I'm a solid-ass dude. So I was like, all right, what's up? He was like, all right, cool. So you're going to go to Monterey, and you're going to go to this one dock. It's called the Coast Guard Pier in Monterey. If you're from that area, let me know if you know what I'm talking about, all right? And that's actually near where her uncle's restaurant was. So he's like, you're going to go to the Coast Guard Pier. He's like, you're going to pick up a fish. And he's like, it's like a swordfish type of fish. It's going to be near the Coast Guard Pier. He said, I can't tell you the exact, what do they call it, fucking coordinates of where it's at, but you're going to have to search, you know, the shore to see where it's at. So I ended up driving out there as fast as I could. It usually takes about 2.5 hours. I got there in about an hour and a half. And I got off work like at 4:30, so by the time I was talking to him, it was like around 5, because my job and Old Spaghetti Factory weren't too far from each other. So anyways, I got there around 6:30, and I found this shit, right? So I found it. I attempted to pick it up with gloves and shit like that. This was a heavy fucking fish, right? Like, this fish was filled with something. I don't know. Loaded it in my trunk and drove all the way back to Stockton, and got back by like 8:15 or some shit like that, right? Plenty of time. Got a hold of the grandpa, met back at the Old Spaghetti Factory parking lot, handed it off to him. He gave me an envelope about that thick and said, thank you. So, that's all I know. I guess I put in some work. I got a little less than $10,000 for helping him out. I don't know what I helped him do, but, I mean, you can let me know in the comments below what you think was going on or what that was all about. I really don't know. I can only speculate. You know what I mean? Like, was a swordfish filled with gold coins or something worth way more than you paid me for? Was it a swordfish filled with fucking heroin to the gills and shit, you know, that's worth way more than I got paid? You know, like, I don't know. I put in work, whatever, right? So anyway, continuing. So I got that out the way. Had the respect of the, at least the grandpa at that point. So then I had to take her to her, uncle's restaurant, and this is where things kind of went bad. So you're going to want to listen to this, all right? So we go to the restaurant. We grub, whatever. I order this fucking fat-ass platter of, like, similar to Alfredo, but it had prawns. And then I told them to add chicken, you know what I mean? So the shit was fat. And they were cool as fuck, you know what I mean? He only charged us, like, he still charged us. Of course, I was the one that's going to pay for it. But he only charged us, like, 25% of what the bill would have been because they had higher prices there. So the bill, let's say if it was $100, I'd only pay 25, right? So I was like, hey, cool, fuck, I'm saving money. And I decided that, hey, since I'm saving money, then shit, I'm going to save money. So I didn't tip anybody, you know what I mean? So we ended up bouncing and taking off. And about an hour later, she got a phone call on her cell phone. So she's on the phone while we're driving, heading back to Stockton. And, because we're in Monterey at the uncle's restaurant. And she's, like, talking, looking all concerned, like, I'm sorry, he didn't know. I was like, he didn't know? What the fuck could she be talking about, bro? Oh, man, hopefully this has nothing to do with the swordfish, bro. Like, I don't know, these fucking families are crazy, right? So anyways, she ends up hanging up the phone, and she's like, you got to meet with my uncle and my grandpa. I was like, why, what's going on? She's like, well, his workers were pissed because you didn't tip. I was like, well, the whole point of us going there was for me to meet your family, but then for also that, we were going to get a fat ass discount. We're like, shit, we might as well go there. You know what I mean? They're going to hook us up. She's like, yeah, but it's just proper etiquette to tip. I was young and stupid. I didn't really tip as much back then. Now I do. Every single person I come in contact with in the service industry, I usually tip like a standard of 20%. I don't know if you guys do or not. You know what I mean? I kind of work in the industry myself where I need tips as well. Pause, no homo and shit like that. But anyways, so they were pissed, so I had to have a sit down with these motherfuckers, right? So we had this sit down. They ended up renting out a hall just for us to have this sit down. That's how serious they take that shit, you know what I mean? So I sat down with the uncle and the grandpa, right? And so they're pretty much, when I show up, they're bickering back and forth in Italian, Sicilian, whatever. By the way, I got the water on deck. Then they start speaking English. And the uncle's like, I don't appreciate you coming to my restaurant and not tipping my workers. And I was like, I understand that. I didn't really know. And he interrupted me like, how the fuck would you not know? So he gets a little, stupid. I definitely understand my surroundings. There's only a couple older motherfuckers in there, but at the same time, I'm not going to get disrespectful. I could take one on the chin. You could talk to me like that for a second, you know what I mean? But then the grandpa interrupted him immediately and said something in Italian and slapped his son across the face. So I was just like, fuck. The uncle just like looked down after he got slapped, stood up and walked out of the room. So then the grandpa just leans over and then he's just like, we could forget about that one. Thank you for helping me. And then he put his hand out. And he shook my hand and I went about my way, right? That's pretty much the only interaction I really ever had with the uncle and grandpa after that ever again. Me and Jenna ended up breaking up after about 1.5 years of being together and shit like that. And then just, went our separate ways. Haven't seen her. I think I saw her maybe a couple times for that first year around town. But after that, that was it. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Thank you for tuning in. See you on the next one. Got shit to do. I don't even think I'm supposed to be out here. Ain't I supposed to be at home or something?